on exactly what happened here. Thank you very much, PC.
Yeah, we're standing in the area just outside Chesterfield, where there was a shooting incident between the police and the suspects. These are the criminals that were involved with the cash in transit heist. We know that the much talked about heist that happened in Durban on Monday, this past Monday. It was a group of these boys that traveled all the way from Johannesburg, coming down here to commit these robberies. And they were planning to do another robbery again today. And they were disturbed by the police operations that were happening in the area as part of our normal operations that we're running in the area. And the unfortunate part is that when they arrived here and there was a confrontation between them and the police, and the police, unfortunately, they were fatally wounded, and that's why they're lying down there. It is the good work, the credit that I'm giving to the South African police members. Those that were in a gun battle with them, of course, but more importantly, the members from crime intelligence, under the leadership of the divisional commissioner, who dispatched another team also from the head office to work with the team in KZN to be able to trace this suspect, and they continue to trace more. We give credit to them, because without this following up and tracing on information on them, we're not going to be able to locate them. As you can imagine, the place where they came and they hired the house where they were renting, it's very far from a normal public places where a lot of activities are happening. So it was a safe house for them. But unfortunately, they did not have cash. They had cash that they took from the heist, but they've got brand new clothes, and you can see they just went shopping after the heist that they had. The team still investigating in order to establish where did they keep the loot that they got, and the rest of the other firearms, and the rest of the gang that has been involved. But we are appreciative of the work that the police have done.
PC, I mean, SAPS statistics say that in the past 3 months, the KwaZulu-Natal province has seen a number of CIT heists. And we remember just last month we were with you when you met with business regarding, crime in the province. Particularly, you also touched on a CIT heist. Maybe is there an indication of why it is that there's an uptick at this point in time, this time of the year? Why are we seeing so many heists back to back?
Yeah, well, there are many factors. The South African Police Service, and you all know that it's a national entity. We don't operate independently in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So as the National Commission would always have meeting with us on Mondays and try and direct us and emphasize the need of this collaboration and making sure that we close down, we clear up on these criminal activities. So there's been, I will say, shutdown in other provinces, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, and to some degree Gauteng, Northwest as well. And for whatever reason, then these criminals, they build contacts in KZN. That's why they came down to KZN. And KZN is the one that has been hit the most since the beginning of this year. And the focus has been to the gang that are not necessarily from KZN, but they do have groupings within KZN that they mobilize. But they are not necessarily from KZN. They travel all the way from Gauteng to come into the job here. So because they've got these contacts are the ones that make it easy for them not to miss cash in the vehicle, because they will bomb a vehicle that is loaded with money. They will not bomb a vehicle that is not loaded with money. The incident of Monday, as the team picked it up that there's going to be a possible heist in that area, they stopped that vehicle and they told the vehicle, wait at the police station, don't move, while they are tracing these criminals. Unfortunately, the crew, I think, lost patience, and they decided to drive and they hit the road. So just a few meters down the road, they came across this heist, and the money was taken. We know of incidents that happened in Pietermaritzburg and many other places. In some of the incidents, you can clearly see that the money was taken first, and thereafter the vehicle was bombed. So to make it seem as if the bombing is the one that happened first. So clearly they've got internal contact within the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So what we're still trying to establish is, where is this contact? Is it within the security companies, or is it in ourselves, perhaps as law enforcement, or either way? But the team is working very close together, those that are from Gauteng and these ones in KZN, to try and get to the bottom of this. And we hope that we'll be able to clamp down with this spate of these heists that are happening.
If I heard you correctly, you said that you haven't managed to find the cash from Monday, and you explained that you managed to foil the heist that was meant to happen today in the Ilembe district. Is this also part of the reason why? I said, perhaps my question is that, are you aware of, how these operations begin from beginning to end, in terms of you not be these gangs are from Gauteng, as you've mentioned. You said this particular gang was from Gauteng. Is this part of the reason why you're unable to track that money, where in other instances we see you being able to, find everything that you need whenever, it ends up in this situation?
Yeah, well, we're dealing with the organized group. So if an organized group has got some inside people that are helping them to evade arrest and be able to be successful with operations, it just makes it slightly difficult to be able to find them. For the fact that the members were able to trace them until they located them here, and it is a good thing, which then gives us hope that we are going to be able to stop in future for all those groups that are coming from the neighboring provinces to come and do bad in this province. It is not our interest to have the shootout with them. We always want to arrest so that we can investigate further and be able to trace other suspects through that interrogation, be able to find out exactly where the firearms are kept and where the rest of the money is. But unfortunately, because of their attitude and their fighting spirit that they have, they decide to take the war and put the war towards the police. That's why it ends this way. And when it ends this way for us, it takes us back, because we have to start afresh again. There is still a group out there that we don't know where they were about. But if we had them standing and walking, it would have been easier for us to interrogate them so we can get more information. We do hope that those that we will be confronting in future, they're not going to put up the fight, so that we can be able to arrest them and interrogate them, and maybe they can take us to where they keep the looting and where they keep the rest of the firearms, so we can prevent future incidents.
Thank you very much. That is Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi speaking to us about what took place here. You'd remember that very brazen, cash and transit heist on Monday in Kwamashu along the M25, and him speaking to the fact that although they did manage to find them and it has ended this way, he did mention the fact that they were unable to trace where that money is, but also him speaking to the fact that, they are also still investigating further in terms of, where they get their intel from. As you've heard, that these people that have been shot here behind me come all the way from the Gauteng province, and clearly there is some kind of organized crime network that is taking place that they need to be now focusing on. But we also know that just today, the Transport Department in the province has announced that they will be stopping, cash coming in to the licensing departments to ensure that, this also doesn't exacerbate the issue of CIT heists. So it seems as if the province is also just making sure that these heists that we are seeing almost every week are being, stopped in their tracks, with the Transport Department, as I've mentioned, also making sure that licensing departments are going cashless. I'll throw it back to you in the studio, Xoli.